Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy. This is the Financial Education Channel, and today we're talking about how
Amazon is the Terminator, and every single retailer out there, they're just target practice.
guys, there's some huge numbers that came out this week that I looked at, and I'm just like, I've been talking about Amazon for a while and how they're just taking over the retail space, but I'm not a lone wolf in this. There's been tons of people out there talking about Amazon's going to kill retail. You know, they're killing retailers left and right. The signs are really starting to come through now, and there's no stopping this. Well, there's kind of one way of maybe managing to stop this, but I'll explain that at the end, guys. There's maybe one way these retailers have. So first off, today we had just a barrage of disappointing sales reports come out. So companies like Kohls went down 18% today, their stock price one day. This is a retailer. Macys down almost 15%. Nordstrom down 9%. Dillard's down 9%. JCPenney's down over 7%. These names just got freaking clobbered. They just got clobbered. And these are retail names too. These aren't like tech names that could be super volatile and those kinds of things. These are retailers. There's a reason I haven't invested in retail in many years. It's probably been at least 2, 3, 4 years since I've been invested in retail. And retail's a sector I know the best out of any. So basically, I've lost the best sector I'm the best at investing in because I won't touch any retailers because death upon Amazon. Amazon is causing death to these guys one cut at a time. So let's look at some numbers here, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So first off, Kohls Corporation today reported its comparable sales decreased 2.1% in the fiscal months of November and December 2016 combined compared to the prior year period. Basically, you look at that number and you're like, okay, 2.1% decline. That's not a lot. That's not a lot, Jeremy. Well, they were expecting a 0.4% increase. And this is what Amazon's doing. They're just slowly taking some sales away. And it's not just Amazon, it's a few other online retailers, but it's mostly Amazon. Let's be completely honest. They own the online space. So what they do, they just maybe take $50, $100 million in revenue from this retailer, Kohls, and then maybe $50, $100 million from the next one, and the next one, and these numbers begin to add up. Let's look at this here. So the earnings guidance Kohls is doing, the company now expects its fiscal 2016 diluted earnings per share to be $2.92 to $2.97 versus the previous guidance of $3.12 to $3.32. Once again, not like unbelievable numbers like, oh my gosh, Kohls is done, you know, Kohls is never going to recover from this, it's all over. No, these aren't numbers that it's like it's game over. It's slow slices here and there that's killing these retailers, and it's just going to slowly just keep killing them, guys. Now, think about it this way. A lot of people don't understand what's really going on. People just think, okay, someone's shopping online, that means they're not shopping in the store, so that's just how sales. Well, it's a lot deeper than that, okay? First off, we see that earnings guidance there, right? That's earning guidance is down. What Kohls is going to have to do now, they're either going to have to lay off employees or they're going to have to cut hours on employees, right? When they cut hours on employees, they're going to lose some good workers because those workers are going to have to need to go get a new job, right? So they're going to go get a new job somewhere else. Kohls then has to hire someone to fill that old position, that 10 or 20 hour a week position, who's probably not as well trained or just as good of an employee. That employee probably will create a negative shopping experience for maybe just 1 or 2 customers, right? That's not a lot. You say, okay, that's not a lot, 1 or 2 customers. What's a big deal? Okay, that's a big deal in itself when you head it up to how many stores happen. And I've seen this happen in retail. Employees are so important because people come to a store and they expect good customer service. If they feel like they don't get good customer service, some get so offended that they'll never shop there again. So that's a big one. Another big one is, okay, Amazon, let's say there's a long sleeve shirt. Okay, Jeremy, he needs a long sleeve shirt he's buying for some family member, right? I should go and I buy it on Amazon. I used to maybe buy it at retail. So now that retailer that has that extra large long sleeve shirt, right, in stock, now that didn't get sold to me and it didn't get sold to anybody else. So now what that retailer has to do is they have to go and they clearance that long sleeve shirt now. So they have to sell it for the price they paid for it or even a price less. Never mind, that long sleeve shirt probably got touched 50 times. An employee had to be paid to fix that shirt all those 50 times and whatnot. Then you go ahead and that's just, so not only did they not get a sale at full price, which they would have made a nice profit on, but then they have to sell for a price that's probably lower than what they paid. And that is just a killer for retail. And then you say that's just one person. Add it up times if they're losing on maybe 100 customers, maybe they're losing 1,000 customers a store per Christmas shopping season, and you times that by 500 to 1,000 stores. We're talking big numbers here, guys. Macys came out with numbers. That's another retailer that got killed. Macys today announced that its comparable store sales of own plus licensed basis declined 2.1% for the months of November and December. Once again, not a huge number. Not like, oh my gosh, Macys is done. It's all over. It's game over. No, it's a 2.1% decrease. But that's still a decrease, and that's so painful in retail. And the way that hits the bottom line affects the entire business. And now Macys is talking about they're going to close down a ton of stores, and they're actually going to lay off 10,000 employees. So big changes coming for Macys, and this is going to be just a theme that's kind of seen throughout here. Now, the sales are definitely going to Amazon. Let's look at what analysts expect Amazon sales to do this quarter. Holy smokes. So a year ago, they did $35.7 billion in the Christmas quarter, basically, that they're going to report here in the next few weeks. This year, they're expecting $44.69 billion. We're talking almost a $10 billion increase in revenue. $10 billion, and they might even beat those numbers. I would not be surprised if Amazon even beats those numbers and comes with a $11 or $12 billion increase. That is ridiculous when you take into account that if they're just stealing $100 million away from Macys, $100 million away from Kohls, $100 million away from Dillard's, it is so painful to those retailers. It's so painful, and it creates such an epidemic that it's just I would never feel comfortable investing in a retailer. Are you guys invested in any retailers? Because I would love to know one retailer out there that you're confident that they can fight off Amazon. I cannot think of one retailer out there that can fight off Amazon and give them a legitimate fight. I really cannot. They're just completely owning the game. So what we had happen, and this is, like I talked about with Amazon and, taking over the retail game, like I said, I was not a lone wolf on this. There's been hundreds of people I've seen on CNBC and Bloomberg and whatnot have talked about this. But it got masked, mainly because 2008 and 2009, those were big recession years, right? Every retailer out there reported horrible sales. The Macys, the Dillard's, all these type of retailers, they all had horrible sales those 2 years. Then 2010 to 2014, basically what you had is the economy got better. People were going out and spending. They were spending at retail shops. They were buying a lot of little purchases. And so it made retailer sales look really nice. So the whole Amazon effect and the fact that Amazon was stealing away sales all during that time, it didn't really get seen just because the economy was improving. So everybody was kind of getting pushed up. 2015, we finally began to see some cracks in the whole concrete here, guys. And all of a sudden, these retailers also started expecting, now we're, instead of a 2% increase, we're going to be a 1.3% decrease, actually. And things slowly started to show on how Amazon's stealing away these sales. Then 2016, now we see in this Christmas quarter, it's gotten worse. Because now Amazon's numbers are just compounding and they're getting bigger and bigger. And now a 20% increase in Amazon sales last year versus this year is a lot bigger on a comparable basis. So more sales are being taken. And it's painful for retail. So the question is, how can any retailer fight off Amazon? The truth is, no retailer by itself can fight off Amazon. I would compare it, and this is kind of a barbaric, this is really a barbaric comparison, but imagine if the United States decided we're going to be evil. We're going to take over every single country one by one. The United States could do that. Let's be freaking honest. They spend more on military. We got all the weapons. Well, you could say, okay, nuclear bombs exist, so maybe if the United States tried to take over Russia, they would launch nuclear bombs and the whole world would end or whatever. But let's just assume nuclear bombs didn't, exist. The United States could just go country by country and take it over and take it over. But if a bunch of countries came together to fight off the United States, absolutely the other countries would win. So it's power in numbers. So if some of these retailers are smart, some of these big ones that still have a lot of money are still very profitable, right now is a time where they should merge. So like a Macys Dillard's, J.C. Penney's type merger, and then you merge with a couple smaller retailers here and there, so you can kind of create your own Amazon. That would be smart, because no one retailer out there, doesn't matter how they're trying to build their online business and all those things, no one's gonna be able to stop Amazon unless it's a bunch of forces together that have a lot of money to go ahead and build out the infrastructure to actually compete with Amazon. And unless these retailers do that, they're just gonna slowly get sliced and diced by Amazon. Amazon, maybe the Terminator expression wasn't the best, because the Terminator, you know, if you've ever seen the Terminator movies, he just comes in and blasts people, right? Maybe the Amazon expression, maybe that's like Michael Myers in the Halloween movies. Have you guys ever seen the Halloween movies before? Michael Myers, he like slowly hunts the people down, and you know, they're trying to run away and he's just walking toward them, and somehow he catches them and he ends up getting them in the end. That's what Amazon is. Amazon just slowly getting them, slowly, one by one, and it's just a little bit here, and it's doom and gloom for retail. I would not invest in a retail stock. I mean, I guess I could say if it was at the right price, if Walmart was at like a 2 PE ratio or something ridiculous, maybe I would buy it. But it would have to be so ridiculous to get me to buy any type of retail name, guys, because how am I supposed to be confident as a long-term investor in that business that they're going to be able to fight off Amazon? I cannot be confident. Let me know if you guys think of any retailer, or you're investing in a retailer that you think can legitimately fight off Amazon and long-term business model will still be intact and all those kinds of things, guys. I would love to hear from you, because I just don't see it. I do not see it, guys. If you came across this video and you're not subscribed yet, you may want to. We talk personal finance in the channel. We talk entrepreneurship. And we also talk the stock market, just like we did today. We usually are a little more happy, but today's a doom and gloom video, because this is just a doom and gloom subject, unless you are an Amazon stockholder, and then good for you. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.